Hi there, Rabbi. How are you? Studying, I see.
Yes, I've decided to go back to do a little Talmud.
And that's our topic for today, the Talmud and Tunnels. And I'm sure that you have something very specific in mind with that title, so take it away.
The Talmud is rabbinic discussion that took place in Babylon about 200 years on either side of zero. And in the academy, the rabbis took the oral traditions, Mishnah, which we often call oral law, but not law in the sense of homicide or stealing or stop signs or speeding. These were customs and traditions that people had been doing for a long time that had the effect of law. Okay, so we take one of the rules and then the rabbis begin to discuss it. Often there's no conclusion. Often there's a majority opinion, a minority opinion, and it's all in the Gemara, in the notes that somebody took in the academy. The goal was to create an ongoing document so that rabbis in later centuries could apply some of the reasoning and rules to the changes that were going on. One of them is, can I dig a tunnel on the Sabbath? Okay, well, let's look at the Talmud and see what it says. The rabbis concluded that the laws of the Sabbath would prohibit one from digging a tunnel on the Sabbath to get from point A to point B. But if you need the dirt because you're going to be doing a project or doing something, yes, then it's not considered work, and one can dig a tunnel on the Sabbath because the goal is not to get from point A to point B. The goal is to acquire dirt, maybe build a sandcastle, maybe build a berm, maybe not a clue. And that's very typical of discussion in the Talmud. Many of it is boring, goes on page after page. In fact, it's 73 volumes, depending on the edition and the size of the text. However, it is available in English online, and it's free if anyone would like to read it.
And since it's available online, a lot of people who want to post anti-Semitic topics on social media are going and finding it and misrepresenting the purpose of the Talmud.
And the Talmud, written in Aramaic and Hebrew, translated into English, often the choice of the English word is not how it's used today. And therefore, we're taking a modern meaning, a modern definition, and applying it. And that's not what the rabbis were talking about when they were dealing with it. So it just lends itself, it provides fuel for anti-Semites to point out how bad or evil or wicked we as Jews are. And it becomes very important for you who are reading some of this material to stop for a moment and say, wait a minute, this doesn't fit with how I understand my Jewish neighbor. This doesn't understand how I understand Jewish history. Something's going on here. And so you don't really have to find an English Talmud and go on and do lots of research. You can just kind of do a little bit of thinking and pause for a moment and say, no, someone's using the text to make Jews look bad for and I'm not going to fall for their trap. I'm going to stop reading it or not promote it.
Well, one thing I'm not going to stop promoting is you, Rabbi. Thanks for sharing your wisdom as always, and have fun reading the Talmud.
And just everyone just keep in mind that you're reading rabbinic discussion from, 2,000 years ago and more about things going on at the time. And much of it doesn't apply now. And even the language has changed dramatically. So be careful out there.